The hype is real today. We have Jack Keane in the building. Let's go.
Let's go, Jack. Welcome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks for coming on. So just to give a little bit of background of who Jack is. So Jack we've known him since preschool. We went to the same preschool together. Jack has an older brother who's in Davis's grade.
Bobby, another legend. Absolute legend from preschool on.
So just from that connection, and then we went to the same preschool, elementary school, middle school, high school. And Jack's been one of my closest friends to this day. And we're excited to have him on.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. It was a pleasure talking with you guys and seeing the Inspire brand start up how it is right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I guess to start off, Jack.
Wait, first we've got to give Jack a shout out because he's been one of our biggest supporters from day one.
Yeah, that's fact.
Even when, honestly, it was not going that well. We still don't have that many viewers on the podcast now, but Jack's always there to help us out and keep it rolling.
Yeah, he was one of the first people we gave the wristband to back.
Oh.
Got the wristbands.
Still got it. Bring the positivity.
Like David said, he has been one of our biggest supporters, which for me too it's been huge because I've known Jack, and Jack, he's a no BS guy. So if he didn't believe in this and he thought this was bogus, he would tell us. He would tell me. He'd be like, dude, what are you doing? Because there's been stuff. I mean, we can probably count the things in the past where I've tried to do, and Jack said just kept it real with the reality.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys are getting more legit every day. More people beeping when you're riding, when you're running in town. You got the mic set up. So yeah, you guys are doing well, and it's fun to see you guys grow and do the crazy ultras and Spartan races and triathlons that you guys do. So
just having fun.
Yeah, I'm just there to support.
Let's go.
Now we've got to talk about Jack, because Jack is climbing and climbing. He's been able to just overcome time and time again, whether it's lacrosse in high school or now going into the corporate world, and he's just rising and rising. So it's awesome to see.
Yeah, thank you.
So you want to start off and just kind of talk about like who you are, I guess, just let the people know at home. Just kind of.
Yeah. So since preschool, kindergarten, I remember getting you allergic with the peanut butter. We touched, and he touched his face, and it was I don't know if it was your first allergic reaction. And then country club pool and stuff like that. We've been friends for who knows how long, and family friends with Mr. and Mrs. Clark and my parents. So it's just been a blast growing up with you. And then luckily we played the same sports, and in high school we were lacrosse captains together. And friendship's been strong our whole lives like that. It's always fun coming over here. So. And then I went to University of Wisconsin, you went to UMass, and now we're at the stage of our lives where sports are over and it's more of the business time, and we're in our young 20s trying to see what we can do and start a successful career. So
yeah, because like us, you played. I guess the peanut butter story is kind of funny, so I just wanted to put it out. I think it was one of my first allergic reactions. And I was so young. We were probably like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And we had no idea we were at like snack or lunchtime. Jack, I remember he would always eat like peanut butter and fluff.
Yeah.
And it must have been on his hands or something. And we were, I don't know, wrestling after. And it got on my hands. And then I got an allergic reaction. I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
I was having a hard time breathing, and I was scared. But they were able to call the nurse, and I was better from there. But another big thing too is Jack was on sports in the top 10.
That's true.
But my point was, so sports was, at least for us, I'm assuming it was the same for you, a huge part of your identity growing up.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? Because you were playing all like select hockey.
Yeah, the commitment for my parents driving to Haverhill 50 minutes, 3 days or 4 days a week after work, and they'd have the carpool with other people from other towns. Yeah, sports was a big commitment growing up, but it's honestly like one of the only things that I really found passion in at that age, whether it's hockey, lacrosse, baseball, basketball I wasn't too good at, but I still like. And then just watching sports. So yeah, but now it's come to an end. Once you go to college, it's like you realize that the sports journey was only until you're 18, and then some people, they do get to go on. But I mean, we were decent athletes. You played at UMass. That was
Just a little, and I didn't even
but-
get in the games, just practices.
Yeah, we were decent high school athletes, but I don't know if you want to pursue it in college and go D3 somewhere, or really dedicate yourself in college for D1 if you can, if you have the abilities. But not for me. I didn't have that. I got my fun out of it and the dedication when I was young and wanted to, but yeah.
What was that transition like? Were you ready after high school? Were you kind of like, all right, I'm done with sports and now I'm ready to try to pursue something else? Or were you, because I know, at least for me, I was kind of trying to find my new identity once. I was burnt out and I was ready to get after something else.
I knew I had a cap on my ability. I don't think I could have probably played D3 lacrosse or hockey somewhere, but I wasn't like that good. I was like good in the Middlesex League as an athlete, but if I was good enough to play Division I or something, then I would. But after seeing my two older siblings go to Penn State and then Alabama, and I visited both of them when I was in high school, football games, parties, big schools, it's just a different. I don't think I would have enjoyed going to a smaller school, playing sports and sacrificing all that time. And I absolutely loved the time I had in Wisconsin. It was an absolute blast. So, no regrets for me. I was clear, did not want to continue doing sports. But now when I do men's league hockey every once in a while, it's a lot of fun. The competitive aspect, and then golf too has been the main one, which is competitive with myself for the most part. So
Yeah, you got big into golf this summer.
yeah.
Jack's at the range every day after work, literally for an hour or two. The consistency, it's on. Every time I go, you're always there, and you're there a lot more than me, I know.
Yeah, it's been fun and difficult at the same time, but I had the goal to start. This was the first time I played 18 at Winchester, and I've been there for 23 years. Doesn't make much sense, but I was probably at the range for an hour and a half every day after work, and then playing as much as I could on the weekends. My goal was to break 90 at the end of the year, and I think I went to the driving range yesterday. I think I'm hanging up the sticks for the year. I didn't break it. I got 90 once. I got 90 once. I double
on the button.
I bogeyed the 18th, but that's okay though, because the progress that I had, like everyone, I saw it myself, which was the biggest thing, and I liked doing it. But other people at the range, like you, people need to see me, like you're there all the time, and then they can see it. It definitely feels good to have something that you care about, similar to how you're doing the boxing.
Yeah.
Something like that is unrelated to work, but it's a physical thing that keeps you in good shape, and it's good for your mental health, and it's good for boosting confidence and something like that. So,
and with business too, having a good golf game.
that's true.
Yeah, we can talk more about that once we get into that. Yeah. I mean, that's a good skill to have in your back pocket, because you never know when you might have to do it, and you don't want to be the guy out there just chopping divots.
Leave it to me.
Yeah.
I mean, so you went to University of Wisconsin Madison. You want to
Yes.
talk about that and how'd you pick that school?
So my brother Bobby and my sister Erica, they went to Alabama and Penn State, and all I looked at was pretty much big schools. I think Boston College was the smallest school I looked at, and it was between BC, Michigan, and Wisconsin at the end. I got waitlisted at Michigan and didn't get in. And when I saw Wisconsin, we went from Indiana, and it was like a 6-hour ride in the Midwest with like cornfields and stuff, and it's not an enjoyable ride. And then you come in the turn, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and you saw the city of Madison, the lake, the Capitol lit up. I said it like as we're driving in, I'm like, this place is awesome. And then you see it in the daylight. It's just the best college town that you can be at. And then the academics matched. It had a good real estate program. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do when I first went there. But the first real estate textbook I read, I was like, this is the first class that I actually enjoyed doing. And they have a really good real estate program. Not many schools offer real estate as a major, but I took 6 classes: appraisal, finance, economics, all real estate classes. So it was law. It was the perfect school for me to then send me, one, for the experience and the friends that I made. The friends is honestly the biggest thing. I just went last week back to Wisconsin, and the lifelong friends that I have from all the other states too. They're not California, New York, Wisconsin guys. So it was awesome. It was an absolute blast.
Jack was also in a frat out there, so
yes.
You get that connection there. And, you want to talk about like how'd you decide to join? Because some people, I don't know, frats are big at some schools, small at other schools, and I don't know. I don't know what it was like for you in high school, but like, because you probably got to see some of it going with Erica and Bob, but you had that idea of what college is like and all the frat parties and all that. Was that how you were going to college with that?
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching I'm Schmacked videos in high school. I mean, who wasn't? I was definitely watching those. I'm like, I'm going to Miami, Mom. And she's like, no, you're not. Like, there definitely was that. And they have their stigma, but no, that's not why. My roommate, he had 2 buddies that he knew from New York that were at Wisconsin, freshmen also, and he was my roommate. He was really one of the only people I knew when I first went there. I didn't know that many people when he was doing the rushing, which you meet other freshmen. If you're from Massachusetts going to Wisconsin, it's not easy to make friends unless you have something like that can introduce you to so many people. So I kind of had to do it, but at the same time, it was awesome. Like we had probably 10 or 12 buddies go back last weekend, and the year above us also had like 12 guys, and one of them is going to get married next year, and I'll probably go to his wedding. Like, it's the friends that you make from the Greek life, even though it has the stigma. I kind of needed it out of Wisconsin, and it was a blessing to be a part of the fraternity that I was in.
Yeah, because that's a difficult thing to do, where you pretty much went to a different part of the country, not knowing anyone, and you have to try to build yourself up in this giant pool. Because at UMass, I had Davis was there, so I had these safety nets. But for you, it was just you're swimming or you're gonna drown.
Yeah, and Jack, you even went one step further. Besides making friends for yourself, I know you paid it back because other people from our town, Winchester, Massachusetts, who went out to Wisconsin, they joined the same fraternity. Jack was watching out for them, which really means a lot, and I know they appreciated it.
Yeah, I remember when Charlie Miller, she and her mom came out to see Wisconsin, and I gave them a tour, and I was like enjoying selling the school and taking them around because it was the best school that I could imagine myself at. And when people ask about it, I love to try and advertise and tell them to go there because it is so much fun, and the academics are good, the people are good, the Midwest is nice, the city's perfect. So
what's it like going on a plane though? Every single time you go, is that a pain?
Yeah, you don't have a direct flight to Madison. It's you either go to Chicago or Detroit, and then a connecting flight right to Madison, small airport, or you go to Milwaukee and take like a 2-hour bus there. But not a big deal. No.
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel.
But yeah, very like for Thanksgiving, I didn't go back for a Thanksgiving once, and I'm sure that was during COVID times. But being local, you guys in UMass, Camille at Tufts, it's easy to come home really whenever and stuff, and have a car and that.
We'll have to debate which is the better school. Which one's more fun experience? No, I think they're so similar, really. But just the things that you say about Wisconsin, we say a lot of the same things about UMass. Just a great community of people to watch out for you and help you grow really from a kid into an adult.
Yeah,
that transition period, which is essential.
Wisconsin's got the sports programs, 100% though. The atmosphere at those ones. Yeah. I heard a crazy stat. Wisconsin sells out their volleyball games. If you're doing that as a college program, kudos right there.
They do have a good volleyball team. My freshman year, I worked for CSC, and it's the like ticket people. They do the security, they scan your tickets, and then they watch at the aisles. and I did a volleyball game, and it was a Friday night. I had never I didn't know much about the women's volleyball team, and there was 5,000 people there. There were lines to get in. It was completely packed. It was sold out, and this was not. Because now they're national champions.
Unreal.
I don't know if they were in the national championship because they played Texas and it was on at the bar. It might have been the semifinals of the championship, and the bar was going crazy. It was so much fun. So I did not believe the atmosphere that first game. I remember telling people, I'm like, dude, that volleyball game was insane. But I don't think any of my friends ended up going to the games. But
they don't get it. They don't get it.
Yeah, no, it's impressive watching those girls. So.
Yeah, the best in the country.
Yeah.
So then from there, you were studying real estate. You had that both. Jack was saying, what were you financed with real estate, or were you real estate straight up?
I was real estate and risk management and insurance, but that was just kind of because I had extra credits that I could take, and I needed to. It was only 12 credits. It was another major that I could do, but I wasn't passionate about that. I took the classes to take the classes, and it was good to learn some of the stuff that I learned. But real estate was what I genuinely liked doing.
And then from there, you want to talk about, because now we're about 2 years out of college. Yeah. You want to talk about what you're doing now and how you got there.
Yeah.
So I had the internship at Cummings, which Mr. Clark works at. I got that it was supposed to be junior year to senior year. But then with COVID, the office was shut down and they didn't have it for me, but they extended it for the year after. And all my friends are applying to jobs, working countless hours on their resume and stuff like that. And I had luckily I had the surety of, even though it was an internship, it was at Cummings Properties, which is a known place around here in the real estate world. So it was a great place to start, and I didn't have to stress senior year. And I did the internship, completed that after 4 months, and again, just got lucky. One of the property managers on the operations team at the end of the internship got a text. I asked him, I'm like, hey, if you know anyone that is hiring, any companies out there, let me know, please. And someone from the company I'm at right now, Nordblum, had said, we're looking for someone. He's like, yeah, someone a week ago actually just texted me and asked him. So I had the first interview there was at the building that I work at. I do property management. And immediately it was like, yes, I want to work here. It's a 700,000 square foot commercial building, and it had just been demoed and the base building stuff had been finished, so it was empty. A lot of it was empty. They had no tenants in, and it was a construction building, and it's a major life science building in Boston, and 22 years old, 23, I just turned, and that's when I'm going to get my starting career off. Like, yes, it was an easy decision, and I have absolutely loved it. So
yeah, it's right off the highway. It's primetime real estate right there. Yeah. Literally couldn't be any better to just start out. Yeah. And I can't even imagine the people who probably come through Boston being a great market, and like you're saying, life sciences, probably genius level people coming through every day.
Yeah, the scientists are like Ivy League PhD people. Yeah, yes. Very smart.
Making the next great inventions and driving the markets, whether it's real estate or just the economy in general around here. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And what do you think makes, because you said when you first toured the property that you were like, oh, this is where I want to be. Was it the building? Was it the people? Was it the company itself, or everything that kind of drawed you in? And then what exactly were those things?
Yeah, and I'll just add on here, Brendan also works in real estate. He's in property management just like Jack. Yeah. So they're going to be able to add a little bit more of the specialty here. Use the lingo and teach us all.
I don't need to teach anything right now, but you walked in and the atrium, like the lobby that they have, is just gorgeous. And I'm walking around, it's me and Philip, he's the property manager, 2 years older than me, and then my two bosses, and they just walked me around and told me what I would be doing here. And it was massive. It's 700,000 square feet, and it's not a skyscraper. It's very long, and you're just seeing 20-foot clear stories that it's going to be a lab space. And I was at this like, it has everything from construction to now tenants are in there, the food hall being built. Like, it offered everything to learn real estate at a general, like, base level, where I'm not sitting behind a computer screen doing Excel. And I did a lot of that in college when you have a case and you have to analyze this property, and it'll take 13 hours to do this case, and you're the whole weekend grinding on Excel. And I enjoyed real estate, but I like talking to people, and that's one of the best parts about my job is dealing with the daily issues that come up and dealing with tenants, dealing with the investors and the people that are our partners, and then dealing with union laborers on site and construction guys. Like, it has a whole mix of everything, and I'm learning so much that it was a no-brainer. Right when I walked in, I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
That's the place to be. And completely changing that building, because this is where the Boston Globe used to be based, right? So it goes from being a newspaper headquarters to now some of the most high-tech lab space. I can't imagine the transformation.
Yeah, they had their offices, the whole printing presses, 3 stories printing presses, and then like 10 loading docks. It was where the whole operation went down. And I didn't see it. My company bought it back in 2017 and like gutted the whole building. So I've seen some pictures, but the whole transition of mud on the ground and some columns to what the building is now and what it's going to eventually become is something that I like. That's something that I can get passionate about, which is really cool.
Yeah, so those are, you kind of brought up, you like, it sounds like you like the problem solving aspect of the job in a way, and talking and conversing with individuals to meet a similar goal. Is that the parts of real estate that you truly, because you used the word passionate?
Yeah, it's something different every day right now when you're there. I had to go to the building today because we had like 6 kids on their bicycles last night throwing rocks through the windows. 23 windows were smashed, and now you have to call the glass vendor and have him security. What was the problem? Then you have to report it to the investors. So it has all stuff that is unique that doesn't necessarily happen at other properties because the status of the building right now, with the construction going on and all that, and tenants in there, labs with scientists in there. It just offers so much different things every day that I like, and I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot of new lingo, a lot of stuff about how buildings work, HVAC, the boilers, the chillers, air handlers, and it's really cool. And maybe 5 years later, I do something different, but right now, I'm learning real estate at exactly how I want to.
Yeah, just hands-on experience.
Yeah.
Do you have mentors in your company that kind of, I know, I met Philip before. He's like Davis and Jay. She seems like a great guy. And is he your main mentor over there, or do you have other? Yeah,
he's the boss. He's technically my boss, but he's 2 years older, and we have a great relationship. But he's the property manager, and he is mature and handles himself in a way that it's a good benchmark for me to. That's what I want. I want to be the property manager and be able to write emails, do reports, talk with investors, how he does when I'm 2 years older. And then the boss is probably around 60 years old, and he's been around for so long. He has stories that never end in buildings all over the city, and he knows about buildings just as much as our engineer does. So It's just listening to him talk about buildings. When he says stuff, I can't even retain all of it, and I need to listen like 5 different times to him because he just knows everything. So, and then he's what I want to get to at another point. But so yeah, it's cool having that.
That's really cool that you have those benchmarks, like you're saying, people look up to, and it sounds like they're really willing to help you just explain it. And in turn, you're giving them great effort. I mean, to be out there, it would be Sunday morning, it's Sunday, and you're out there fixing windows, making sure that.
I'm not fixing the windows.
Hey, that's what I'm doing. He's fixing the windows. Thank goodness for those kids who made the problem so we can solve it and get ready for Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just showing dedication. Besides just saying it, you can just see it in your actions and just talking about how you listen to these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the characteristics that these individuals have within the real estate field, maybe your bosses or even the high, because it's a smaller company. So do you interact with some of the higher up people?
It's interesting because I'm on site at the building like 95% of the time. So a lot of my company, we are only maybe 40 people, but they work in Burlington at the office, and we're the Boston team because that's our Boston building. So we're not there around most of the company all the time. So I have two different teams basically. The team that's at the building is the security team, the engineering team, and we handle stuff a certain way. And then we have the company that handles it, that I only see once every other week. When we have a company meeting, I'll go in, and I love the culture at the company and the people at my company. I love, and I can see myself working there for a while, but I also just as much love the people at the building too, which is a completely different team and not my company. But so.
It sounds like you're getting after it, which is awesome.
And you're just helping people, taking care of the people. That's what it all comes down to.
I got lucky.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, you put yourself in the right position.
Yeah, because one thing I picked up on is you touched on a little bit where a lot of colleges don't have a major in real estate. It's such a great field, but so many people don't really sponsor it and get kids interested. Like you go to a school for business, they're going to have accounting. They're going to push you to that. They're going to push you to finance, but you have to look for real estate, I feel like you did. And you went out and got it.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips for kids who might be thinking about real estate if they're in schools where they don't have the real estate programs? Are there certain certifications or ways to get involved?
You can, at Wisconsin, I know, they had a MS program, and it's like a master's for 1 year in real estate, and you basically take the real estate classes that I took as a major, condensed into 1 year, and you don't need to major in it. We had real estate club. I'm sure you could be in real estate club even if you weren't a real estate major. But there's so many different types of professions related to real estate that you can get into. Development side, the property management side, whether it's residential or commercial, analyst side of capital markets, financial analyst. So it depends on what you want to do in real estate. But there's a lot of different ways to attack it if you're applying for jobs and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I give you all credit because at the end of the day, you have a physical building that you have to maintain. You have people to take care of because I only work on technology. So it's just software. If something doesn't compute, I mean, no one's going to lose any sleep over it. You just do it the next day. But you have whole different responsibilities, whereas people's workplaces, living spaces in their lives.
That's also the beauty of it. I don't know if Jack feels the same way, but I work at a residential property, and there's something cool about providing homes for other people that they're trying to improve in their lives or survive. And they're staying and trusting you and paying you rent, so you owe them that service. Which is just cool just to see people coming in and out every day and like, wow, these people are living here and it's my job to. I don't know if you felt the same way, but in property management, there's kind of a tipping point where growing up as a kid, you always go to adults with questions or problems, and now adults are coming to me for problems, and then they're looking to me as a 23-year-old to try to solve it for them. Did you run into that and that mental tipping point in a way?
I've made a couple of mistakes like saying stuff, but it's to people before. But it's interesting when someone that has been working for 30 years in construction then has to come and like ask me, hey, is this okay? Can I do this? And we'll just be like, you got to do this, something like that, or yeah, that's okay. But it is interesting to have that feeling of like they have to come to you for something like that and rely on you. So
this is kind of off topic, but I was just thinking about it. Good
question, then.
I know Jack really well, so I'm just trying to extract the things I want people, just because Jack's the man.
Gotta show him for the legend he is.
Yeah, but a question. This is way off topic compared to real estate, but what was it like growing up as the younger sibling? What were the advantages, disadvantages? Because in our family, I'm towards the oldest, and I can see some of the advantages of being on the older side compared to the younger side. But I just want to hear your take because you're the youngest.
Getting Bobby's hand-me-downs and everything wasn't the best, but being the youngest, well, for me particularly, they seem to, they led the way for my parents, because they, obviously, Erica was the first one in high school, and she's a girl, and they have to parent very differently. And then Bobby comes, and he's playing sports, and they're nervous about him. And then the third kid rolls around, and the parenting was a little different from that point. And I didn't necessarily make it easy on them a lot of the time. But having the older siblings, at first, like, we used to fight all the time, Bobby and me. When we were in elementary school and middle school, we did not, we had a brotherly relationship, but we got in fights all the time. And really, once I got to high school, he was a junior and I was a freshman on the hockey team. That kind of changed our whole relationship, because he was then like the big brother, and he's also a lot bigger than, at least in high school, he was like 190.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he was
deadlifting hundreds of pounds.
Yeah, and I was the little skinny freshman, and he was there, and people and all the kids that were older knew who I was, from Erica and Bobby. So it felt, I really noticed it at high school, the different relationship with my siblings. Erica takes me to Penn State, and I'm a little freshman and throwing up in the middle of the floor, and she's right there for me. So it was cool having them look out for me at those all the time. That's when it really sunk in. And now we just went out again yesterday. They both live in the city, and we went out and got drinks and stuff, and we have a very close relationship now. I don't know how it is for them being the middle and the oldest. I know Erica probably had a lot of weight on her shoulders growing up as the oldest, and pressure on her and stuff. And it was a lot easier on me, because when it came around, I'd get in trouble, and I'd be like, oh, he's getting in trouble again. But it wasn't the same, different parenting. But the siblings, we got closer as we got older, definitely.
And were you more likely to go to like your older sibling for solutions to a problem compared to your parents?
Yeah, definitely. For each one for different things. Because I have the brotherly relationship with Bobby that, yeah, you guys know about a brother relationship. It's just kind of different. But then Erica and I are very similar in how we handle issues and our demeanor more so. And I talk about her with things all the time. So it's a good relationship with each one of them, and then a great relationship, all three of us. So it's pretty cool. Similar to you guys. I mean, you guys, your family is known in town. Everyone knows about you guys.
So are you. Y'all work insanely hard. Like, I would say one thing that I see across the Keane family is the work ethic. The hours that you all put in. If you say you want to do something, whether it's hockey, lacrosse, or now real estate, unmatched work ethic whenever it has to be done. If it's a weekend or weekday, y'all just do it. It's crazy.
That's another thing. Erica, with her independence, because she was the only girl and the oldest, so she's been independent for a long time, and that's very impressive. And then Bobby, no one works harder than Bobby. Like, when he was at Landmark and then at the high school, I can almost guarantee you not a single person at Winchester High that knew Bobby would expect him to be 25 where he is right now at his job and stuff, and successful how he is. But he cracked the books, and even at work he grinds, and I don't have that dedication like he does.
You're still up there though, because the work ethic, it just rubs off probably in the family. Yeah. Sunday morning, taking the call, fixing the windows. It's the same thing.
I'm not fixing the windows.
Bob's studying finance, Jack's fixing the windows in the building.
Yeah,
it's a dynamic duo.
The crazy thing is Jack and I we have our 5-year high school reunion coming up.
Oh, no.
Are you planning on going to that?
I'll go to that, yeah.
What are you excited for that? I know Jack's always like, oh, Brendan, you love reunions, that type of stuff. But what are your thoughts on that coming up? And it's crazy that it's been 5. Can you believe it's been 5 years?
I thought it was... I was looking for someone in the yearbook, the middle school yearbook, the other day, and I sent Brandon, this was, I think it was 8th grade or 6th grade. I forget what year it was. It had to have been 8th grade, and it was when each 8th grader can write a little sentence, and mine was like, best times with Brennan Clark, and that was it. And I was like, well, what was this? So, yeah, it's going to be fun seeing a lot of people that I haven't seen before, or at least like in 5 years, because after high school, you tend to be around the same people the whole time. So,
do you think people are gonna surprise us at reunion, or do you think it's gonna 5 years isn't that much of a time for people to change? But even you said like Bob, like people wouldn't believe. I know Bob's a few years older than us, but he's changed a lot. I don't know. Actually, I wouldn't say he's changed a lot, but I bet he would shock a lot of people, as you mentioned that before. Do you think people are gonna surprise us, or?
There'll definitely be some surprises, but at this point, I don't think Bobby was where he was. It took a couple years for his career to get to where it is. So I'm sure that some people at like the 10-year, you'd see more of a surprise with people that you wouldn't expect. But there'll be some surprises for sure.
I can't wait. That's going to be... Because Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving last year was so much fun. And this year we're going to go to the reunion, and then we're all going to go out to the bar and see everyone from high school, and it's just gonna be a movie, like I like to say. But going based on that, where do you see yourself 5 years from now if you think that far out? Because time flies. It feels like so much has happened, but as Jack mentioned earlier, we played lacrosse together in sports, and dude, like being in the lacrosse senior year with you was awesome, and it's...
Y'all a legendary team. I would be in the stands cheering, let's go.
Yeah.
They had crazy playoff runs. It was fun.
We had that man-up connection. I would just pass to Brent, and he would score every single time. It was awesome.
I probably had 30 goals on man-up. Somebody would set a pick for me. I'd curl around. Jack would get the ball up top and just dish it down to me, and I just go like...
Load a high every time.
I started working on that shot in 8th grade. Because
we go to the turf together.
We would bring our lacrosse sticks to school. And then we would all head down to the turf sometimes after and shoot.
These guys are the lax bros. They would be putting in the hours for
Jack was the first person that got me into lacrosse too, because we used to play in your driveway with the tennis ball shooting on the hockey net. Yeah, I didn't start in 7th grade. But I guess where do you see? Because I don't know. I feel like 5 years it's a long time, but it's gonna come by real quick. And I don't know if you plan that stuff out, or you kind of just take it day by day.
I'll be a scratch golfer.
For sure. Yo, live tour, watch out. You got your next prospect right here.
But for career-wise, as of right now, I still see myself at my company. Who knows 5 years from now? But I see room for growth at my company. And Philip and I, these are the 2-year benchmark ahead of me that I want to keep going to shooting for him, and he's shooting for the people that got in above him, and we're young at the company, and we got in at a good time, so I can see myself working there. Hopefully I'll be the property manager with Philip at more buildings in Boston. The company expands. The building was fully leased up in 5 years, hopefully, so I still see myself still in the property management sphere, hopefully at my company. But who knows?
Yeah, you never know. Things can happen, you can move. But I don't know, we're in that year where there's a lot of stuff's going to happen, it feels like. But I guess you kind of get an advantage because you see Erica, and she's 5 years... Is she 5 years older than you?
4.
So you kind of know what to expect in a way, and what to do and what not to do, which is, I think, a huge advantage. I can see that with Camille, because Camille, having all of us, can learn from our mistakes, and we can give her advice that somebody couldn't have given us before. Or maybe somebody could have given it to us, but since it's not coming from somebody that cares about you, you might be like, forget this person.
Yeah, just for context, Brandon and I, we have 2 younger siblings. Evan's our younger brother, and then Camille's our younger sister. Yeah. People know.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I feel like that for Camille, have you guys meet at my older siblings. Our generation of kids from like 18 to 23 there's a lot of different types of people with technology and how they grew up doing high school compared to what we did, and I feel lucky that we are more, at least I feel more associated with like Erica and Bobby and the older people than so for Camille and the younger generation. So for Camille to have you guys, that's a big help.
Yeah, because growing up for us, social media was just getting big. When did you create an Instagram? I remember I was in 7th grade. I mean, I didn't really post that much, but that was the first time people started using it. Where nowadays kids have that stuff
From elementary
it's
school,
crazy.
probably.
So it's such a short period of time, but there was such a boom, especially within the social media. Because I remember, this is a funny Jack story. In like freshman year, I would try to make vines. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah.
I don't know, primarily like lacrosse highlights, and I'd be like, "Oh, dude, this is so sick," and then I'd send it to Jack or something, and he'd be like, "Bro, delete." You know? We grew up in the era where it was you're hopping on the PlayStation, the Xbox. You're not really glued to your phone.
Like the PSP was like the big thing for that. I remember playing Brick Breaker on my dad's BlackBerry.
Same.
Like that was so much fun.
MW2, you can't.
MW2.
Those days.
That was.
I didn't even get an iPhone until freshman year of high school.
Yeah,
I had
same.
like the NV2 or NV Touch, the flip phones that you slide and it's got the keyboard like that. I had those type phones.
Everything has its pros and cons. Because one thing that I've noticed with a lot of younger kids, kids in high school, is since they have so much access to information, especially certain things about mindset, they consume this content where their mindset's on a level that I was not on back at their age. For instance, our little cousin, shout out to him.
Riley Clark. Basketball season's coming up.
Fun. I don't know if it has anything
Yeah.
to do with social media, but his mindset is, it's crazy. It's on like a different level. And I wonder, because even Davis,
5 a.m. we'd go pick up Riley sometimes for summer workouts.
But I guess another thing is Davis coaches JV football, and the kids were asking about these like Iman Ghazi guys that
they were asking about business. They're like, Coach, I know you'll put up videos of workouts or things like that, but they want to talk business, and they're only 17 years old or younger.
Yeah, the whole concept of that blows my mind.
You have all the resources to help you and be useful, but you also have the same stuff to just an hour of TikTok and not do anything. So they could be extremely helpful, but I'm sure most middle schoolers and high schoolers don't have that mentality. But
yeah, and there's the negative sides to it.
Hey, how about a couple years ago, just how things have changed? I remember Brennan was a brand ambassador at UMass for TikTok.
I remember.
Everyone was roasting him. Everyone was like, TikTok's going nowhere. This is so stupid. And then now you look at it and TikTok just popped off. Brennan was probably one of the original employees in the U.S. He should have stayed on it.
Yeah, I should have. And that's what I realized too, is like if you're doing something out of the ordinary, a lot of people are going to try to bring you down. But you got to have the right people, because if you're doing something stupid, like you should have somebody tell you that. But if there's a lot of people just, like for instance, that TikTok thing, TikTok blew up.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
And then people don't really appreciate that until you've accomplished it. Like now people are starting to accept that you can make money off being an influencer, where back in high school, if you were making YouTube videos, I guarantee you people would just crap on you.
Yeah.
Like, this kid's a loser, this, that, and that. So it's wild how the perception has changed.
Yeah, that's true.
What do we think? Any big highlights you want to rip into to close it out in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, any last words?
Yeah.
Talk about the Spartan race and the Ultra. Give a little bit about that. What Spartan race today? Talk about that a little bit.
Okay, because I know on the Ultra, Brennan and I, we recorded one last week to go really into it, but basically, Brendan was tough as nails on that one. He beat me out. He got an extra lap on me and washed out for me when I was hurting, and he still put up a crazy time and distance. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah, we have unfinished business there, though.
Oh, my God.
We're going back.
For 100?
Probably not in the near future, because that's something we can do. I mean, I don't know, actually, because I didn't even think I was going to do an Ultra.
Yeah,
and then one day I was just like, hey, I'm just going to send it.
Or a couple days ago, one of our other friends, Jack Congdon's like, hey, you want to do a Spartan race? It's going to be at Fenway. And we're like, yeah, sure. We get a squad of like 10 people together. It was a 5K with 20 obstacles. It was a ton of fun. Absolutely beat me down. Probably muscles I haven't used and just a lot higher intensity. Just literally running up thousands of stairs and climbing ropes. It was a blast.
You do another Spartan race, let me know.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah,
we got Team Inspire. This time we came in with 10 people. I say next time we're getting 300.
I'll get
going in.
Bobby, well, definitely.
It was last minute. Yeah, we're going to, we'll see where it goes. It was fun.
What's next on the docket for you guys for the next feat you guys are going to try and tackle?
Brennan.
Yeah, I think right now I'm primarily focused on boxing. So I think my next goal will be to have a boxing match and then see where it goes from there. Because as you know, Jack started you were kind of there at the start when I started doing it last summer. So I've been training for like a year and a half now, and we've been talking with my coach, and we'll see what happens coming into the next year. But that's probably my next goal. But who knows? Because something could come up and I could divert. But I think that's what's next.
Is your mouth good to?
It's not 100% yet. It should be done at the beginning of 2023, and then from there we'll talk.
Yeah, because Brandon's got tooth surgeries going on right now, so boxing, not the best mix sometimes. But he's out there sparring, he's getting his works in, he's got it up.
I got a little face mask, but it's good fun. I think that's the next thing, just lifting weights too.
Oh yeah, Brandon absolutely crushing it. I'm going to be an academic, I would say.
Yeah.
That's the big thing for me now. I have to take the CFA Level 2 exam. Again, this will be my third attempt at it. I had 2 failures, and I literally just decided, I think it was on Wednesday or Thursday, that I was going to take it again because the kids on the football team inspired me, honestly. Yeah, I just see myself back in the day and those kids. They're like, hey, you should take it again, give it another shot. And I was like, yeah, I have to do it. I played the same stock market games they're playing now. Literally love football the same way they do. And they asked me to actually speak to their their finance club in a couple weeks. And I was like, if I'm going to go there and talk to these kids, I need to take it again.
There we go.
So you're going to see me studying. I think I've got 4.5 hours in so far. Some of it while I was biking, some of it just being focused in. But yeah, just the support around here has been unbelievable. Because since I said I was going to take it again, people were like, hey, go after it and get it. It was awesome. It shows why our town is so strong.
Yeah,
literally, I'll be running by people like, CFA level 2, you're getting after it. Let's go. And I'll be fired up like, yo, when I get back, I'm hitting the books.
Let's go.
That's awesome.
But yeah, you're going to see me being studious. Call me the nerd.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, you have any final thoughts?
Yeah. Any big plans for you coming up in the next month? Other than maybe a Spartan race?
A sparring race. Now that golf's over, I got the headgear for Christmas last year. I might have to go back to the boxing gym. So I got to do something to occupy my time. So yeah, nothing really though.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time. We look what Jake Paul is doing. I mean, if you all come up, make some big knockouts, let's go.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But
I'm not fighting these guys in the ring. That's the last thing I'm saying.
We could do some jiu-jitsu or something.
Yeah, I'm taking it to the ground.
Yeah.
They'll knock me out.
But yeah, Jack, thank you for coming on, man.
The man, right? Dude, the man.
Yeah, you got any last words, Davis?
No, I just say, Jack, you're an absolutely awesome person. You're always watching out for us, literally from the time we were little kids, and we appreciate it so much. And the fact you're willing to come on the podcast, talk with us again today, just highlights it over and over.
Thank you guys for having me. I want to see you guys. The mics are nice. Get like a nice table, and then soon you'll have a Joe Rogan studio or something.
The studio.
I want to see you guys take Inspire to the top. So keep on going with it, and good luck with the CFA.
Oh, yeah. You'll see me studying hard.